How's it going, everyone? Today's topic will be on how human beings are inherently valuable. And we know that for a few distinct reasons. First of all, we're distinct from animals, and let's go kind of unpack that a little bit. We are more complex than they are in terms of being able to employ intellect and sophisticated developed language models, and then, of course, technology as well, which animals are incapable of. We have a certain level of self awareness and consciousness, which means we can reflect on our own thoughts. We can, all of all creatures across animals and humans suffer, but only humans can ask, why me? As an example of that. And then lastly, we're in possession of a soul. So that's, of course, the spiritual aspect of what it means to be human. Another way to wrap up these three things are that we are made in the image of God, right? So as image bearers, we have certain capabilities and thus ethical responsibilities that are not necessarily shared by animals. So they can't discern between good and evil. They are not capable of committing immoral acts. Humans are. So there's a difference there in terms of capability, and then, of course, what almost responsibility on the human side, right? And you might say, well, actually, we're no different than animals. And there are definitely a lot of arguments to be said for that, but we certainly don't live that way, at least in the United States. We have laws, we all live under laws that treat human life and animal life very differently. And so I think that's just the way that things are. And so the implication therein, of course, is that every single human life is sacred, and that's regardless of immutable characteristics, things like eye color, hair color, skin color, things like any kind of mental or physical impediment or lack thereof, and then anything that anyone would have done or thought or any way they would have behaved, those are all things that are irrelevant when it comes to the value and the innate worth of a human being. So, unfortunately, in a world full of flaws, though, there are cases where taking of human lives, ending human lives, for example, self-defense, is actually a reality and something we actually have to contend with in this life, unfortunately, right? But that doesn't mean that we're not valuable. It just means you have to make some tough decisions sometimes. So I think the big takeaway really is that you possess innate value. Your neighbor possesses innate value, and then, of course, your enemy also possesses innate value. And I think if we keep that in mind and we remember that human beings are sacred, I think we would treat each other better and also have higher aims than being satisfied with petty disagreements or treating people poorly. If you can be in traffic and remember the person in front of you is sacred and important and valuable, you might treat everyone better, and that would be amazing. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Please respond or comment or whatever you'd like. I'll talk to you guys on the next one.